Search continues for boy washed away in Westmoreland drain. Search and rescue efforts continue for 11-year-old Desroy Smith Jr., a fifth-grade student of New Hope Primary and Junior School, who was swept away by swift waters during heavy rains on Monday. The tragic incident occurred around 2:30 p.m. when Desroy attempted to cross a flooded drain near the school's compound. Reports indicate that he slipped and fell into the swift-moving water, which emptied directly into the Caribbean Sea. Efforts by classmates and a nearby ice cream vendor to rescue him proved unsuccessful. On Monday afternoon, the Westmoreland Fire Department was on site with a truck and crew prepared to assist with CPR and land-based recovery if necessary. Acting Superintendent Burgess told reporters that the Jamaica Defense Force JDF Air Wing had deployed a helicopter to conduct air search while the Jamaica Fire Brigade remained on standby. Information we received from another firefighter in the community was that a child had gone missing in swift waters leading to the sea, Burgess explained. We got here about 4:45 p.m. A pump had already arrived, and I took charge of the scene when I arrived at 5 p.m. While the fire brigade remained present for land-based support. The marine area would be managed by the Coast Guard or the JDF. The Coast Guard arrived at approximately 6 p.m., but the search had to be called off an hour later due to poor lighting condition. The incident has left the White House community in mourning. A female resident who did not wish to be identified by name said Desroy Smith Sr. lost another son last September in a diving accident. This a go hard for him, she shared. September coming will make 1 year since him lose him big son. Me call him, but can't get him. But me hear say him dip on the sea, helping with the search. Shortly after the young boy was swept away, a teacher told reporters, I am trembling as I speak to you. They should have been inside waiting to be dismissed, but they tried to leave through the fence. We're heartbroken and hoping for the best. The entire community is on the seaside. However, some committee members have expressed frustration at the school security protocols, with some alleging that the gate was locked and children attempted an alternative route through a hole in the fence. One eyewitness said the boy slipped while trying to cross the drain and was pulled away by the force of the water. The force where the water come down with, it dragged him in the side, and I saw it wash him away, the witness stated, and a nobody fault. A female student reported the wonders were not to go, but he allegedly ignored her pleas. Counsel for the White House Division, Michael Jackson, described the event as a heartbreaking tragedy. It's an unfortunate situation. During the heavy rains, he said on Monday afternoon, the community is mourning the loss of a grade 5 student. Words cannot describe the grief, but we are unified in the support to the family. The rescue team is searching diligently. The child's mother and sister were both rushed for medical attention due to shock and distress. The family had recently buried another relative lost 2 weeks ago, compounding the tragedy. Teachers vote overwhelmingly to return Lasanja Harrison to JTA presidency. Principal Lasanja Harrison has secured a decisive win in the 2025 Jamaica Teachers Association presidential election, returning amid her lawsuit against the union on concern over wage talks and teacher regulation. In the count following last week's voting exercise, Harrison garnered 6,651 votes, more than twice the tally of her closest rival Jermaine Williams, who received 2,771. Dr. Maureen Mullins Nelson polled 1,883 votes, the group announced on Tuesday. There were 305 rejected ballots from the total of 11,610 votes cast. The result means Harrison, who served as JTA president from 2022 to 2023, will return to the leadership track of the Powers Teachers Union. She will be formally declared president-elect at the JTA's annual conference in August and assume her second one-year presidential term in August 2026. Harrison is currently the principal of St. Faith's Primary School in St. Catherine. Williams is a senior teacher at Manning School in Westmoreland, and Mullins Nelson is a practicum placement officer at the Mercury University College. Harrison's victory comes amid an ongoing legal challenge she has brought against the JTA regarding its acceptance of the 2022 to 2025 government wage offer. Harrison's entrance in the race triggered concern among some teachers. At the presidential debate held on June 13, Harrison defended her decision, saying the issue was about upholding the constitution of the association. There matters to principle. There matters to correcting whatever breach that we find to have happened in our organization. There is no financial gain or personal gain in seeking to correct a constitutional breach or what is perceived to be so, she said in response to a question. Williams pressed her on whether she would abandon the case if elected. Harrison responded, "The matter before the court is the matter before the courts, and we're seeking a response from an independent arbiter." The lawsuit centers on a virtual special delegation conference in March 2023, at which the JTA voted to accept a 3-year wage offered by the government. Harrison contends that the virtual vote was unconstitutional, arguing that only in-person voting is permitted under Section 14 of the JTA Constitution. Harrison also struck controversy after leaving the room before the deal was signed with the government. Then President-elect Lyndon Johnson signed on behalf of the union. During her campaign, Harrison proposed several initiatives and advocacy aimed at improving the professional and personal well-being of teachers, including expanded wage negotiations, mental health support, housing benefits, and reform to teachers' appraisal systems. Her platform also included enhancing engagement with church-based ministries. Harrison, who is an intercessor and Sunday school superintendent at Freecom Ministries International in Portmore, has pledged to strengthen partnership with churches and Christian groups to provide spiritual support within the school community. She is also advocating for the inclusion of a National Day of Prayer in the Ministry of Education school calendar each term, as well as a National Back-to-School Church service at the start of each academic year. Harrison will join a new executive lineup that will include current President-elect Mark, principal of Yales High School in St. Thomas, who is slated to assume the presidency in August. Outgoing President Dr. Mark Simmet will then serve as the immediate past president. The teachers have spoken, Mark told reporters. The teachers continue to repose confidence in her as the incoming president. I wish to welcome her back to the presidential corps, knowing fully what lies ahead. Her support at this time as I prepare myself to lead the organization is timely. The JTA represents more than 20,000 educators across the island and plays a key role in education policy advocacy and wage negotiations. A new wage agreement and the Jamaica Teaching Council Bill, which proposed a licensing regime for teachers, are among the big items dominating discussion between the union and teachers. The JTA will oppose legislation that seeks to oppress our members, she said at the JTC bill in August 2022. The stance appear to have remained as during the June debate as Harrison criticized the composition of the proposal. Council of this nation must rise. Nothing for the teachers of this nation without the teachers involved, and 31-member committee cannot be 15 members licensed and registered and 16 not licensed and registered. The teachers' voices must be in the majority, she stated. She also argued that performance-based pay for teachers cannot be implemented without investment in key areas of the sector, including infrastructure. Until we treat with all these issues, establishing minimum standards in schools, then I do not believe we're at a point to talk about pay by performance, Harrison noted. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.